Suprabhat, Salam, Bonjour, Guten Morgen, Fashion Death. Most of you listening to me must have rushed towards the dictionaries or the translators for the meaning of these words. Well, my friends, I would like to say that these words are nothing but a way of saying hello in different languages. It's easy to communicate, but not really to effectively communicate. There are many barriers towards effective communication. We, the team of Hanshal Nautiyal, Devavrat Mathur, Lekhansh Tyagi and myself Gaurav Sinha are here to present on one such barrier to effective communication. As we all know, there are more than 7,000 languages spoken all over the world. But due to this diversity in culture and languages, there are many ideas and thoughts of one culture which do not have an equivalent in another. So it causes a problem in translation. In the presentation today, we have discussed upon two topics. The first being the untranslatable words and the other, the untranslatability in phrases. Now, I would like to call upon Hanshal Nautiyal, who would discuss upon untranslatable words.
Vladimir Kolobov penned down these immortal words. Wilhelm Zamkai, Kolobov, Gidia, Tosca, which literally translates to every night I dream about Tosca. But wait a minute, what about Tosca? Yes, my friends, Tosca is a group of words that has no equivalent in English. Tosca is a Russian word that literally translates to a feeling of ecstasy and of sheer delight. Here I am today to place in front of you some other words that find no equivalent outside their native language. First example is that of a German word, Wilhelm Zamkai, which literally translates into the feeling of solitude in woods. Well, Roy Emerson found this word so magical, he penned down an entire poem on it. Another Russian word, Uchimichka, which roughly translates to a person who asks a lot of questions. Well, we all know a few of these people, don't we? From the French word dépassement to our very own Hindi word tiki. From the Spanish word sombrero to the Portuguese word venkinchikskis. There are unlimited number of words that find no preference outside their language, and in this sense, I find English to be quite lacking. Now I would like to invite Devavrat Mathur to touch upon a very important topic of untranslatable phrases.
I don't give a shit. A very common American expression that almost all of us are familiar with. But how do you explain it to a housemate who just heard it from her rap listening, TV watching son? Will you say, "Main mal nahi deta"? Now that sounds very awkward and weird and reminds you of constipation. It's better to replace it with "mujhe koi farak nahi padta." This is an example where you replace an expression from one language to its equivalent in another one while keeping its meaning. But this doesn't work so properly every time. For example, the Hungarian saying, "Reggeli vardando mardando." Now, literally translated, this means the breakfast guest is not permanent. But if you replace it by an equivalent that he will leave soon, you completely lose its poetic feel. Just like these are ornaments, the idioms, the phrases, these are ornaments of language. And just like a European bride cannot find beauty in the ornaments of a Rajasthani bride, the ornaments of one language cannot always be properly translated into another. Now I would like to call upon my friend Lekhansh Tyagi to conclude our presentation.
As you can see, that untranslatability is the unable to translate from one language to another. It can be both in words and also in phrases. Expression of one language can be translated to another language. Untranslatability is due to two barriers, that is linguistic and cultural barriers. During translation, many mistakes may arise. These mistakes arise due to the use of miscues. Miscues are incorrect guesses. Mistakes may arise due to the use of complicated sentences instead of simpler ones. These mistakes can lead to embarrassing situations and these mistakes can also change the meaning of a sentence. How to avoid these mistakes? These mistakes can be avoided by using simple language. These mistakes can also be avoided by translating not only the words but also their meaning. One must have proper knowledge of noun, gender, homonym, homophones and homograph while translating. Remember, Language is the soul of a person. Without truly touching its essence, none can understand its value.